Page Podcast. I am Ryan, joined as always with Sterling. Sterling, you had a good truck race DFS tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was better than what we've typically seen recently. It's one of their spotters, their smaller one, so that was 180 under grand, and then I only did one lineup, and I had it across every contest, and it at least cashed and everything. So it was a little over a 4x day, which I'll take.
Oh, heck yeah. Watkins Glen just absolutely kicked my ass. I don't know how you did, but I mean, it was terrible. It was a terrible week for me last week.
Trucks and Xfinity looked good, then it all got taken away.
Yeah, yeah, and then, Cup was, oof. Yeah, I
Cup
don't,
was just
I think
disgusting.
I had 20 lines through a couple contests, and I did not cash in any single one of them. So there was that.
Yeah, me
And
neither.
of course, I had a lot on Alex Bowman top 10. That didn't happen. So it was a very, very shitty day. But on to Richmond, which I don't know. The way we were talking pre-show doesn't look like it's much better. But also Cam Fan had a good night tonight. He didn't take down the GPP, but he was right up there at the end.
Yeah, he finished sixth in that, but I want to say it was the second overall lineup.
Yeah, yeah. So congrats to Cam Fan, who is in our Discord. I'll plug the Discord again. If you are not in the Discord, I will post the link in the comments section after this video is posted. Feel free to jump in the Discord. We got a lot of great minds in there. Like I said, Cam Fan just finished, like Sterling said, sixth, but theoretically had the second best lineup in the truck. The big trucks contest there. I couldn't say that. And then Sterling, like you said, you took down the mini spotter. So yeah, definitely get in there. There's a lot of great minds, and a lot of DFS talk going around with, like I said, a lot of great minds. I can't stress that enough. So, as even DFS, Sterling also posts these in the Discord. These are beautiful charts. Um, so, if there is something that you want to look more, we just glance over these, but if you want to dissect it even more, like I said, go over and, yeah, definitely check the pinned section, and these charts should be there. But we're going to go over it, Sterling. So this is the Richmond Next Gen finishes over in the Next Gen era. So over the last 2 years, we got a 6 race sample size, and definitely looks like the top dog by far is Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, kind of. He's definitely slightly better than Bell, but I'd say they're about the same, really.
Yeah,
Clearly, Bell or Hamlin's sniffling better, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, other than the fourth, other than the 20th, it's all top five for Hamlin. Bell, fourth, second, 20th, and then, a trio of sixth place finishes. Larson's pretty good. Three top fives, a seventh, and then a 14th and a 19th. I'm trying to see like if anybody sticks out as far as like outliers. Chris Buescher obviously like got that one win. I remember that. Finished third. So
that
Buescher,
that one was, man. We should have both had a huge day. I'll never forget that one. Busher
yeah,
was plus 8,000. I told you to bet it, but I completely forgot about it before betting it, and he obviously won.
yeah, and was it last year? Was it the August race that they had the option tire? I believe so.
I meant to look that up. I think you're right.
Yeah, because there's the Dylan win. We should see Suarez probably pop. That's what I was going to say. The 2024 race, I mean, you can look into it some, but like that was a mixed bag of strategy. It was, you had Daniel Suarez. I remember he was the first one to put that on, and he had blistering fast laps and made his way up through the field, was leading a bunch of, like, he came out of nowhere. I remember that, Sterling. It was like none of us had him because it was just one of those dead or no man's land kind of play, and just randomly had some fast laps
Yeah,
and laps led because I believe he got to the front. So I don't know. I know later on in these charts we'll see, but that's something to consider is the 2024 race. You can take a little bit into consideration, but yeah, it's not a whole lot because of the tire. This is average running position. Once again, no surprise, Denny Hamlin up there. Joey Logano's. I mean, that's
he's
interesting to
gonna be
see.
so fucking chalky though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to get different, that's how you get difference. Not playing Joey Logano tomorrow, but
Spoiler alert: I will be fading him.
yeah, I don't blame you. That is how you win big. Um, I mean, that's you're gonna throw your money away probably 19 out of 20 times, but the 20th time that you don't throw your money away, you're gonna win big money. So that's
You're pretty familiar with that one.
yeah. So that's the way I look at it. It's like 19 out of 20 times Joey Logano is probably gonna beat you, but that 20th time you don't have to beat very many lineups if he hits a wall and crashes and
And that's, I mean, obviously we'll get more into it here later on, but I think it's going to be fairly easy to be different tomorrow.
oh, real easy to get different. I completely agree with you. We see Larson up there. Let's see here. I'm looking for any like screaming outliers. As I see, Tyler Reddick's not very. Yeah, he's not very good.
If you take that 30th away, then just make it a 16th, which I guess you can't do that, but that
Yeah,
might
I
bump
guess
them
that.
up quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be terrible. Um, I was gonna say Austin Dillon with his solo 2024 August. Along with Daniel Suarez, you see Suarez with an average running position of ninth. I think his car was pretty well dog shit before his option tires came in, or prime tires, or whatever the hell they called them back then.
Yeah, I remember that, and I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah. This is Richmond quality passes. This is obviously nice to see because we're gonna want to see cars passing tomorrow night, hopefully. I saw Brad
Which,
Keselowski bitching about the tires already. I was looking at a little bit of practice time, Sterling. Now this is just on NASCAR site. This wasn't like on your sheet. I was just like kind of looking, and it looks like it's like a half-second fall off and like a 10-lap run.
yeah, it's definitely looks like we're going to get more fall off than we typically see. But at the same time, you also have to keep in mind they practice midday, mid
Right.
afternoon,
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
7:30 start time. So
That's a good point.
it
That's a good point.
shouldn't matter as much, but it should still play a factor at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what Richmond's good for. Unfortunately, ever since I can remember, it never really put on a quote unquote good race. It was just always a good strategy race. Like somebody will pit sooner than somebody else to get the fresh tires and make up ground, and I don't know. That's pretty much all we see with this next gen car. So, but yeah, so this is passes. Like I said, obviously we want to see these guys make passes, and
I think this part here is probably actually the most important one to look at for tomorrow.
yeah, so obviously we see Joey Logano up there. That's a good thing to see if you're on the, play Joey Logano train. I'm with Sterling, though, in that sense that I know I'm going to have at least one lineup without Joey Logano, and that's my solo dart. Chase Elliott, that's a nice, thing to see. I think he's starting fifth. Denny Hamlin, obviously.
And
Josh
another,
Berry.
I guess I'll throw that out later. Never mind, keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to throw out the fact that this is a tire that ran at Bowman Gray, so
Okay.
we've seen what Elliott did there.
Yes, we did. This is Richmond fastest laps, and I think this is where we're gonna see Daniel Suarez. Yep, right there, 42 fastest laps. Just like I said, out of nowhere last year. I remember that pissed me off.
Yeah, because obviously those fastest laps mean a lot.
Yep,
That's
yep.
42 laps there. That's almost 20 points. So
Yeah, yeah, and I remember. I don't think really any of us probably had Daniel Suarez on our bingo card, leading or not leading, but having 42 fast laps. So
it was pretty tilting.
yes, it was. So yeah, it looked like other than that, it looked like Bell was the car to beat, and March looks like Larson was the car to beat there. Looking July looks pretty even. I mean, you can argue Bubba Wallace. I guess he's got the 30, but other than that, that was pretty even. April, once again, looks pretty even. You had Barry, Busher, and Byron. So that's interesting. And so this is the Richmond top or percentage in the top 15. So we'll see that number go down for Logano tomorrow night. See how long it takes for him to get inside the top 15, along with Kyle Larson. Um, Trying to see Brad Keselowski. That would be a pretty good number if it wasn't for that one. Kyle Larson would be an even better number if it wasn't for that one.
So
Uh,
I'm going to double check Chastain real quick. That doesn't seem right.
oh yeah, 0 and a 1.3. I'm trying to think. I know he wouldn't have. I don't think he would have missed time for anything. I don't think he got suspended or anything. I'm trying to think if there would be a reason why he missed that race.
What are we looking at here? Top
Ross,
15?
yeah, Ross Chastain, top 15.
Yeah, that is not right. He has the same number as Blaney there.
All right, so 96.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting to know. I think Chastain's another one that's starting in the back. So now let's go to Richmond laps led. And obviously, you want to see lap leaders. So we see Kyle Larson can get it done. Denny Hamlin, spoiler alert, can get it done. Byron, Logano, Bell. And we see Daniel Suarez with the 93 last year. Like I said, that pissed me off so bad. 93 laps led,
Yeah.
40 some fast laps. If you had Daniel Suarez, that's how you got different last year. Congrats, you won 100 grand.
Won't be doing that this year.
Nope. All right, next up, we got all those stats that we just went over put together into a driver rating. Uh, so at Richmond, no surprise, Denny Hamlin, top dog, Joey Logano, second, Kyle Larson, third, Christopher Bell, fourth. Now, like I always say, I do like to look at this and then look at the driver matchups. I mean, this is my fault, mostly. But like if I was on a better schedule and we get together with Sterling a little bit more, I'd like to go over this before practice and qualifying because you can get the head-to-heads and then obviously you can still do the head-to-heads, but a lot of times I like to do it pre-practice qualifying because I feel like you can get better
Yeah, you definitely.
matchups. Like imagine if you had Ryan Preece versus
Oh,
somebody, and you know what I mean. Like I mean,
Yeah,
Ryan Priest, I don't think really pops on this driver rating, but like I'm just using that as an example. Um,
he did run the modified race last night. I can't
uh,
remember where
Actually,
he ended up though.
Priest wasn't bad. He's got a 77. Like it's not terrible, but yeah, I mean, if you had Ryan Priest versus Austin Cindric, or something like that, boy, you're looking good. So that's why, like I said, it's mostly my fault why we don't, but I wish I would get on a better schedule to where I could
It
say,
seems like if you're free, I got something
I
going
know,
on. So
I know. So one of these days we'll get it all ironed out. Because like I said, I do like to look at this, and even post practice qualifying, I do look at this still, and I'll try to find matchups. But pre practice qualifying is where you can really hit that.
more subscribers would help us get on a better schedule.
That's true. That's true. We've been stuck at 33 forever. We definitely need, if you're watching this and haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. So last year's optimal, I'm not really looking at it because we had Daniel Suarez starting 21st,
You can
and
see right there 42.15 speedster points.
exactly, exactly. And Austin Dillon, holy heck, who would have played Austin Dillon starting sixth? Not me, man.
No,
Start,
I mean, depending on what he looked like in practice, you could have made an
yeah.
argument for it, but there's no way I could have actually done it, I don't think.
Nope. I'm the biggest RCR fan. I couldn't have done it. So, 2023 looks like I think we kind of talked about that. It was fairly even. Um, Looked like an RFK weekend there. Brad Keselowski, I don't know, Chris Buescher wouldn't have been RFK at the time, but hell, would Brad K been RFK at the time? I don't remember. But I don't know. Is there anything that really sticks out to you? I mean, I'll just kind of glance over them, but is there anything that really sticks out to you as far as optimals that we're looking at? Obviously,
That one right there, the 2024 March one, I think that's
okay,
similar to what we're going to see as far
yeah,
as like starting position. I I don't necessarily think we get a guy that deep in the field though that comes up like I don't think we have a
Josh
Barry,
Berry.
especially
No,
like not at that price anyways.
no, no, not at that price. No, I would
And the
agree.
more expensive guys that are starting back there, I think it's going to be very hard for them to do and make sense to have in your lineup.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. So, without further ado, let me go over to the practice sheet and the driver by driver breakdown. So we do have the group rankings we will look at probably every now and then when we want to look at how a certain driver did in the group because I believe Group A was a heck of a lot faster. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I'm going to assume Group A was the faster group.
It was, and I want to quickly throw out that Logano is not in this practice chart. If you
Okay.
watch practice, you know that he was dog shit from the get go. Cut a right front tire, fucked it up. Tried to make a
Uh,
qualifying lap, couldn't make one. So
all right. So how expensive is? We'll just start with him, Joey Logano. I gotta look him up.
97.
9,700 starting dead last. I don't know, man. I mean, I think like we talked about, when we were looking at your sheets, I'm definitely gonna have my solo bullet in the. Although I will say now that it's cut, the contest is cut. What's the big contest now? Only like 9.
50K up top, and there's like 13,000 in it.
So you don't have to get too crazy, but like I definitely will be fading him in my GPP.
And for what it's worth, the best lap he laid down was half a second slower than like Cody Ware. Let me double
Wow.
check that real quick.
They must have missed something.
They definitely. It's
But I mean, to their benefit, are they going to a backup car?
I gotta find that for sure, but
But
I think.
but even if they're not, they're starting in the back, so you know they're gonna go over that car with a fine tooth comb.
Oh hell yeah, Deebles took something down. I don't know what contest, but he got
Oh
first.
no,
And I'm assuming this is the $4.20 max.
no, no shit.
Turn that into 633.
Oh, he did the dollar. Was that the dollar contest? Because
It's
he
either
said
the dollar.
sucked
Oh
out
no,
on them.
yeah, it is. He, I guess if I could
Holy heck.
read,
Yeah, that a boy, D Bulls. So yeah, that's yeah, another Discord takedown.
hell yeah, that's awesome because he's been on a string of bad luck.
Oh man, I know. I've been following his preseason, which he does do a great job breaking those down. Like if you're not in a Discord with him, or if you get in the NASCAR Discord and want to private message him, he does do a really good job of breaking down like the preseason games. But boy, have we just been having bad luck with that. At least I have. I mean, I know he makes a lot more lineups than I do, but the lineups that I've made using his breakdowns, no fault of his, but have just not been good. But anyhow, Joey Logano, like I said, they are probably going to go over that car with a fine tooth comb. No, they'll fix whatever is wrong. But I do agree with Sterling. Like if you fade him and the same thing happens in the race, I mean you're light years ahead of the competition. Like if he comes out 65%, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibilities, you just, you know, yeah, you're in the top 35% just like that. So other,
Logano's average lap time was 6 tenths slower than Cody Ware's average.
yeah, they completely missed something, which that makes me think that they'll probably find what they missed. Hope, I mean, maybe, but like you said, it's going to be hard to pass. And this is, what is Richmond? 3/4 of a mile or a mile?
Yeah, 3/4.
That's what I thought. 3/4. I mean, the leader's going to catch the back of the field fairly quick. I mean, that doesn't mean they're going to be able to pass the back of the field, but they're going to catch them. So maybe he gets stuck a lap down. Maybe, I don't know. I'm all with you though, Sterling. I think that's a great fade. So we won't spend too much time talking about Joey Logano. Let's go to Denny Hamlin, 11K guy. Like we saw in all the charts, he is the king of Richmond. Probably should have won it last year before we had the terrorist attack from Austin Dillon.
Hmm.
But was he the first? No, he was the second one to get spun. Logano was the first, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think that was the order. But anyhow, shouldn't make jokes about that. But Denny Hamlin, is he your favorite Dominator, Sterling? I know we haven't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I mean, he's probably my favorite Dominator up in this range. Obviously, we have another one probably if you're on the same page as me later on, but I think in the 5K range as far as Dominators, this is definitely my favorite. So Sterling's favorite too. He's probably almost a lock for me.
Yeah, that's and the tire situation plays right into
Yep.
him. You got to think
Yep.
back to the Bristol fiasco we had.
Yep.
Anytime we have a tire shit show, it's Denny Hamlin, it's Brad Keselowski, it's all these older guys that have been around long enough that know how to manage a tire.
Yep.
So
Yep. 100%. I could not have said it better. Next up, Christopher Bell. this is man. What has been up with Christopher Bell? We haven't like really heard anything from him. Um, Last week I thought, or not last week, was it the week before?
At
Iowa,
Iowa.
Iowa. I was all on him. Couldn't really do anything. I don't think he really did anything at Watkins Glen. He's been pretty quiet. So I mean, if you want to have him in your player pool for a GPP, solo dart, the $20, okay, but like definitely not a cash play. Definitely not one of my favorites. What do you think, Sterling?
That's coming into the week. He was one of the guys I liked just because you think Christopher Bell and you think short flat tracks.
Yep.
And then you look at his practice. It's obviously it doesn't look good. It's right there on the screen. You can see the rankings.
Yep.
Like he didn't show speed at all. And that's scary to say, but I'm honestly not going to worry a whole lot about his practice. Like I'm just going to roll with it. He's going to figure it out. And I'm not going to have a lot of them. I do think I'm only playing one lineup. So he might end up a complete fade for me, but I'm not rolling him out just yet.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I don't think practice is huge. It's just, I think I'm looking at like that team's in a kind of a slump right now.
Which it makes me wonder, and I think I said it a couple times a couple weeks ago, are they just trying to learn new things? Are they trying different stuff to get ready for that playoff push? Because
Yeah.
they started off the season as probably the hottest team out there. 3 straight
Oh.
wins back like March.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's
I guess I will give it to him. He did finish second last week. I kind of forgot about that. He did finish second at the Glen, but Iowa 17th, the Brickyard 8th, which I mean, and then 18th, and then 24-30 is 17th, and then 16th, 10th, 8th. Like it's not like you said. It's just not the Christopher Bell. So I'm kind of with you, Sterling. Like if I probably will play at 20 lineups in the $4. I might have them in a couple, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not in love with it.
new.
Mostly just for that reason. Like the practice. Like if he's been on fire and he came out and practiced like this, I wouldn't care. But just the fact that that team, like you said, and that's a good point. Maybe they're in playoff mode and already testing and using all their resources, and then I'm sure tinfoil hat, I'm sure all the good resources and everything's being pushed probably towards Ty Gibbs.
I think we pretty much know that. Like, they've basically came out and said that.
Yeah,
So
I don't know how much that hurts Bell, but I think any extra hands or any extra ideas or whatever is probably being pushed to that 54 car. So I don't know. But next up, Kyle Larson is starting 30th. 10-5. Looks like he had a pretty decent practice up until his long run. And then well, I mean, obviously, as we go farther right, there's less cars, so. But, man, Sterling, this is another guy that's kind of just been quiet.
yeah, that's keep in mind he was in Group A. The nice thing about that is all of those came out of one run. So he didn't pit, he didn't take tires or anything. So what you see is what he has, and I know it looks good, but starting 30th, I think it's going to be very hard to pass. And I'm honestly leaning more towards fading him for the simple fact that I think it's going to take a lot for him to make his way up there.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, I know I was way too in on him last week, and you were like, "Oh, I'm team fade Kyle Larson," and look what happened. I don't know how you made out on the day, but obviously that
Oh,
was
it
the
didn't
right
fucking matter.
that was the right move. And I mean, does the same thing happen? Does he get too aggressive? I do like Cliff Daniels, but I mean they've kind of been struggling lately too. Other than the Brickyard. Um, but I mean Iowa 28th. The Brickyard he finished second, and then Sonoma he finished 35th, and then I'm gonna guess that's Chicago he finished 13th, and then Quaker State 400. Can't remember where that one was at, 17th. Like I don't know, he just hasn't been the Kyle Larson
No, he.
in a couple months. So I'm gonna be on that train too. I'm gonna be way underweight on him. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I I agree.
So next up we got William Byron. 10-4 is his price. This is a guy I've been in on the last 2 weeks, and he's absolutely burnt me. I think I was 100% in on him on Iowa and 100% in on him at the Glen, and both of them did not really pan out. Now this week he's comes out, and I mean his practice looks like it's just average. So uh, I don't I don't think there's really a reason to play William Byron this week. I mean, is there anything you're gonna really throw at me that makes me want to play him?
No, I mean the only argument you can have for him is the 23 April race and the 2022 April race. He did dominate quite a bit of those, but if you look at his fastest laps, they're just those are the only races that he has done anything in.
Yeah,
And then he finished 24th in the 23 one, did finish third in the 2022 one, but
yeah.
I
I
just
I think I'm gonna be severe, like probably close to a fade. If I have maybe one line, like I said, I'll probably make 20. If I have one or two of them in it, I'll be shocked. Probably close to a full fade for me on Byron.
it's I'm leaning the same way.
All right, I like that. So next up, we got Ryan Blaney starting 20th, 10,200. Looks like long runs definitely there, huh, Sterling? And that's Group
Yeah,
B. That's Group B. Uh, yeah, I don't. I think that's a great play.
I think he is probably my favorite PD play. It's
Yeah,
I want to say he has struggled here, but we've seen him be. He's taken a step forward this year. Like we
oh,
didn't. He's
100%.
never really been a road course guy. We've seen him kind of prove that he's starting to figure those out last week too. So
And I don't want to sound dumb. What package do they bring here? Is it the intermediate or the short track?
the short track.
Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, he's easily beginning slash mid year been the fastest car on intermediates. He just hasn't had the luck. But so I didn't know if they brought the intermediate. I figured it was a short track, but you know how they are with Bristol.
Yeah, that's you never
So
know with NASCAR anymore.
no.
They
So that's
obviously
what.
don't know what they're doing either. So
No, I didn't want to sound dumb when I asked that, but I wanted to ask it anyway. But yeah, Ryan Blaney, probably in the 10K range. My favorite PD play. I will play him over Larson. Um, you're gonna want lap leaders here, so be careful chasing a lot of PD. So,
yeah,
but definitely Ryan Blaney will be top of my list. Next up, Chase Elliott, even 10K. Like Sterling said, we saw what he did at Bowman Gray. Definitely looks like he has the long run speed. I think me personally, I think he'll be in my player pool. Definitely not my favorite dominator, but I mean he'll definitely probably be up there. What would you say, Sterling?
definitely going to be up there. I like the idea of even playing him and Hamlin together, but don't know if you're going to be able to do that and get Blaney. Obviously, you're
Yeah.
spending over 30K right there, so be hard to do.
Yeah.
Be a little over 6K for each remaining spot, but
Ooh, yeah, that'd be tough. I mean, I'm curious what like a Hamlin, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but Hamlin, Elliott, Blaney, Priest, like what would that leave you just offhand if you're
oh, nice. There's the cash out. Kind of lost my train of thought when that popped up.
Oh yeah, you're all good. So actually I'm on it right now. So let's go. Like I said, Hamlin, Blaney, Elliott, and Ryan Priest. So that leaves you 5,600 a person. So you're gonna have to
Yeah,
punt. That's not terrible, but it's not ideal. But yeah, Chase Elliott will definitely be in the dominator pool. I mean, he's definitely a guy that can get out front here. I think, and definitely lead some laps, possibly win this race.
yeah, I agree 100% there. Hamlin's my favorite in this
Yep,
10K top eight, I guess we'll say, and then Elliott, then Bell. I'd rank
yep,
those guys in that order. Then the PD guys, I would rank Blaney, Byron, Larson.
yep, yep. I think I'd probably just rank Larson just because definitely has a lot more. I just think Byron probably makes his way up to like eighth, seventh, maybe top five if he's lucky. So it doesn't really offer you a ton of upside where Kyle Larson could, let's say he does finish 15th. Like that's way better than.
Yeah, and there's only $100 difference. So
Yeah, so I will say Larson's ahead of Byron for me just because of that, but I'm still 100% with you, Sterling. Like I'm gonna be way underweight on Larson, so that's not me trying to talk myself into Larson. But let's go to the 9K range. We got Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, and Chris Buescher. So Briscoe, he's been a team that's been on pretty much on fire, like on all the polls and
yeah,
like
I was actually surprised to see him not get the pole today.
yeah, exactly. But it doesn't look like he had a good practice. CN group, he was in Group B, so we'll take that into consideration. Briscoe starting 19th. We do know Truex ran good here. Um, any interest in Briscoe?
The only interest I have in him is the fact that he's with JGR, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's probably the best team here. I don't know, top three for sure. If I'm ranking teams, it's the Fords have been really good at Richmond, so it's
Oh
kind of a
yeah.
toss up between Penske and RFK,
Yeah.
and JGR is the top three in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Hendricks really hasn't had a lot of dominance at Richmond.
but Briscoe as an individual, I think I prefer one of the two guys below him.
I do too. I do too. So next up we got Brad K. He was in Group A. Now I do see he made one run, so he did not pit. I'm gonna assume. So he ran. Is that what that means, Sterling? He ran
Yeah,
46 laps on the same set of tires. So I mean, he did try that out, and I mean, he did post some decent laps.
and the way he talked, by the end of that, his tires were gone. So
Yeah, so uh that makes me like I think it's gonna be a lot like Iowa, where like I'm gonna have a couple contests with him in it. Of course, a couple contests I had with him in Iowa. The rest of my lineup sucked, but I, I think it's the same play, kind of just the same play as what it was in Iowa. Like dart throw, like don't love it, but I like it.
yeah, that's I think we pretty sure at Iowa I called it out that we could see him
Yeah,
speed some laps, and I think you said it perfectly. It sets up the same way, and I think we see it again. I think
yeah,
Kozlowski is gonna be up there at some point. I'm a little more nervous with his price.
yeah. That's true. I think he was a lot cheaper to Iowa. I think I could 100% be wrong on that, but yeah, he was in my solo bullet at Iowa, and I was all excited. But there was somebody else, I can't remember who was in it, but they crashed or something, so I knew I wasn't gonna have a fantastic day. But it was definitely nice to see. But yeah, I think that's
He was
same point.
7,600 at Iowa, so
Oh man,
and he
yeah, a lot.
showed significantly more speed in practice at
Uh,
Iowa.
so I think
We do say it almost every week, though, that RFK does not show speed in practice. So
no, they do not. So the practice data basically, like I said, I do like the fact that he made one run, and you can definitely see like there was a few good laps in there. I mean, he's just testing out the tires, so I definitely don't mind that. Chris Buescher, kind of the same thing. Like he made two runs, but just nothing there. Man, 9,200 though. That's tough to get to Brad Keselowski, but I could definitely see it panning out.
I think if you're playing one lineup in the main contest and you want to be different, you go Kozlowski.
Hmm.
Hamlin, Kozlowski, because I think you're going to have Hamlin.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then yeah, I don't mind Chris Buescher either. I'd probably rank these guys probably Buescher, Briscoe, Keselowski. But I still like Keselowski as the dart throw. That's nothing against Keselowski.
I think I would swap Briscoe and Kozlowski, but
Yeah, I
Buscher's
don't mind
probably.
it.
And then Reddick, you just want to lump him in there real quick. I just don't really have any
Nope.
interest in him.
Nope.
Historically, second place starter just doesn't do anything here.
No. So I'm gonna be I'm 100% out on Reddick. I'm not playing him. Uh, how is Kyle Busch gonna hurt us this week, Sterling?
This is a tough one to figure out because
Yeah.
starting 28th, had the best overall lap. People are going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, okay, he's a solid PD play. 8,500, not priced up enough to turn your away from him. And then you got to factor in Richmond is arguably RCR's best track.
So I don't know. You kind of know a little bit more. Have you ever heard of this engineer bullshit thing with RCR?
Yeah, I have, but every team has that at this point. They're
Well,
little.
that engineer now works for RCR. He's
Maybe I'm
actually
not.
he's
Not
actually so like I guess I don't know. I don't quote me on this, but like I heard rumors of like it was actually an FBI investigation. Like apparently like there was press uh, charges pressed or something against this guy that was like sharing secrets from Joe Gibbs Racing, and then all of a sudden, like this guy got fired. I can't remember the guy's name, but he got fired. But he was listed as a car chief, like a couple weeks later on Austin Dillon's car. He was listed as the car chief. So, but the guy that they fired, thinking that they were, or thinking that this guy was sharing secrets, and that was like a couple weeks, I believe, before the Austin Dillon Richmond fiasco.
I do now that you say that. I remember that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't quote me on all that stuff, but I it was something along them lines. So it's like, yeah, I mean, there was something about that because it was all about the flat track. I remember that being like the thing, like RCR definitely stole some secrets or something like that. So I don't know the whole thing, but I definitely going back to Kyle Busch. I think I'm in.
I think he is probably my favorite deep PD play.
Now
Like,
here's here's the way to look at it: Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson.
I'm going Kyle Busch every time. Like you could lump
Exactly.
Larson, Busch, Chastain all together, and I think Kyle Busch is the play. It sucks
Yeah.
because everyone's gonna see that he was the fastest overall. I don't think that's necessarily true,
Right.
but
But I think a lot of people are going to look at Kyle Larson, they're going to look at Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin, and probably try to lump three of those in. I wouldn't be surprised if majority of lineups don't try to lump three of those in, and then they don't have room for the Kyle Busch, Like you
or
can't.
I'm kind of seeing it the other way. Actually, maybe now Larson actually isn't going to be that high owned because you can get basically the same play
Yeah,
out of one of these guys, Butcher Chastain.
that's true. That's true. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm with you, Sterling. I mean, Kyle Busch is $2,000 cheaper and arguably got the same ceiling. Like I think that and I know they could win Daytona, but this is their Hail Mary too. They got no cars in the playoffs, so they're gonna probably throw everything at the kitchen sink. And when you think of strategy, you do think of RCR. So I am gonna be high on Kyle Busch. I am waiting for him to you know kill me like he does all the time, but I'm gonna be in on him. But next up, Ross Chastain, Sterling 8,300, starting 33rd. Tell me what you're gonna do with Ross Chastain.
My gut tells me to fade him because I think it's going to be very hard for him to get up there to the point that you need him. If you look back through his Richmond Next Gen finishes, he did finish fifth last year, but then it's 15th, 24th. He did finish third in 2023 April, but then it's 18th and 19th. So, like, I'm thinking he's probably a 15th to 20th place car.
Yeah,
And I think all these guys starting further back than Blaney have a legit shot at going a lap down stage one.
well, we saw it in the truck race. I mean, Majeski, I think it was Majeski won stage one, but he had the whole field lap up until what, 12th position?
Yep, I think he lapped 12th, and then that
Oh,
guy was
okay.
a lucky dog.
Okay. But still, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's stage one, 100 or
Stage
80s?
one's only 70 laps,
70 laps.
but then
Okay, so,
stage two is 140. So
well, there we go. So I definitely couldn't agree more. You could definitely argue that like you could do a build with, I don't want to say without PD,
let me
but
double
like,
check that actually. Yeah, stage one is 70. Stage
okay.
two is actually 160 laps. So
Okay. Now Sterling, as a solo, single bullet kind of lineup, are you looking at a guy like Josh Berry starting 17th?
I feel better about Josh Berry than these
Uh,
other guys around here for the simple fact I I think you're gonna have to start forward. Like
yeah, that's what I mean. Like I think Josh Berry could be like a safe-ish play where like he shouldn't go a lap down early, And I don't think the 17th starting position scares me off of Josh Berry. Is what I'm trying to say. I think a lot of people in this range are going to click Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, um, probably Ryan Preece, obviously, but I definitely think Josh Berry is going to be in a lot of my lineups.
I do too, and he's only got 3 next gen starts here, but it was a 14th, an 11th, and a second. Now it is worth mentioning that that second was when he filled in for Chase Elliott.
Okay,
So
all right, and he
maybe
is in
better
a
equipment then, but
he is in a quote unquote Penske car, and so he does have decent equipment, and Penske's pretty decent here. So, like I said, I'm not scared of Josh Berry's 17th starting spot. I actually kind of like it. I think, maybe that scares some people off, but not me.
I agree. I like him.
Yep. So next up, we got Alex Bowman start ninth. I think Sterling kind of alluded to it. I don't think he starts back far enough for me to really be interested.
No, that's about the only argument you can make for him is that he could, in a sense, luck into like a top 10 for the simple fact of going a lap down bullshit. But
Yeah.
even say he holds on to ninth at 7,800, it's not enough.
Right. Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I just don't see the upside with him. I mean, I think like you said, Sterling, he's got a safe floor, but just not a ceiling really at all. I don't see him finishing top 5 here. It's going to take a lot of strategy and shit luck for him, I think, to get a top 5. So I think
And
there's
going, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
No, no,
going
you're
back
good.
through the last 4 races, he hasn't had more than 9 fastest laps, and last year he only had 1. So
Yep. Yep. So that's about it. So next up, Ryan Priest, 7,600, starting on the pole. Uh, like we talk about, not really worried about RFK's practice. Doesn't really scare me too much, but yeah, we know we're not going to be able to pass here. I mean, we were talking about this pre-show. We probably mentioned it 3 times. I I like Ryan Priest here, 7,600. If he goes out here and leads 30 laps, finishes probably top 5, I think that's good enough.
yeah, the practice looks scary, but you got to keep in mind that's Group B. And after they got going, he obviously racked off some decent laps there compared to everyone else in the longer run. But the
Yeah,
big thing that sticks out to me with him is if you look back through the only 6 next gen races here, the pole sitter has led 30.4%, 35.4%, 20.3%, and then 23 April, 22 August, they sucked. In the 2022 April race, they led 32%. So history kind of shows that we could see Ryan Priest lead about a third of this race.
yeah, and I think if Ryan Priest leads a lot, I think I'll be a happy guy, and if he doesn't, um, it's going to be another Watkins Glen. I think it's going to be Ryan Priest, Denny Hamlin. I think we'll be starting out a lot of my lineups.
That's where I'm leaning.
That's where I'm leaning too. Next up, Bubba Wallace starting 7,500. Uh, I mean, we did see him in that one Richmond race lead a little bit, but I don't. I think he starts too high for me. Sterling, are you going to talk me into Bubba?
Coming into the week, I was higher on Bubber than I typically am, but starting 7th, I think it's just a hair bit too far forward. Like if he was like 12th, I'd probably
Yeah.
be in on him, but 7th kind of scares me.
Yep. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Austin Dillon starting 11th, priced up 7,300. I get it. But starting 11th, he's not going to go a lap down like you say, Sterling. I mean, it's going to take a. I shouldn't say he's not going to go a lap down. He definitely could, knowing Austin Dillon, but chances are he should be able to survive stage 1 without going a lap down. But I don't think I could play him for 7,300. If he was still in the sixes or the fives, I would definitely throw some darts on him. But I don't know if I can do it, Sterling. Are you going to talk me into him? Because I don't like it.
I I'm not completely talked out of it yet, but I do not feel good at all
No.
about saying I'd consider him. Like I'm kind of 50-50 right now just because I think he is still a pretty decent way to be different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I just right now I don't think I can do it.
Hocevar, 7,200 starting 15th. I think Hocevar is kind of in that sweet spot to where I, if I had to put a number on it, how many cars are going to go a lap down at the end of stage one, it would probably be like over under of like 17th.
Yeah.
So I think Hocevar is kind of in that sweet spot to like as long as he doesn't fall back anymore. He should survive, but I don't know, Sterling. Hocevar is just one of them guys that are just hit and miss.
And the thing that scares me the most about Hosvar is this tire. He's one of the
Oh, that's true.
youngest, if not
Yep.
the youngest. He's by far the most aggressive. So if you could bet a DNF on him, I'd consider that just because I think he could blow a tire and smack the wall.
I like that. Well, I'm sure. I don't think prize picks or anything like that's legal in PA, but I'm sure you could do the over, or whatever that would be. I don't know. I
The
that's always confused me. Like, you know,
the position thing.
yeah, the position
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's always confusing because it's like higher or lower, and it's like, well, theoretically you want to be higher, but you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
seems ass backwards. But next up, we got Ty Gibbs starting 23rd, 7,000. We know this is Chris Gabehart running this car. This was what makes me interested on Ty Gibbs. Now, I will go back to the Carson Hocevar conversation you had, and we know that he, had a meltdown there last week. And he is also one of the youngest in the field. One of them. I'm not going to say the youngest. He's definitely one of them. So I definitely get the if you want to stay away from him, but JGR equipment, Chris Gabehart, they need a playoff win or a playoff berth. They need a win to get in the playoffs, is what I'm trying to say. I definitely like Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, that's you gotta look at Hamlin's finishes. Obviously, Hamlin completely different driver, but he did all those with Gabe Hart, and
Yep.
like you said, that's who Gibbs has now, overseeing everything. I'm not against Gibbs, but I do feel like he is going to struggle.
Yeah, yeah, and I can.
27K, 23rd starting spot. You don't need a whole lot out of him.
No, no, you don't. You don't. So I'm gonna have my fair share of Ty Gibbs. Uh, Austin Cindric. I'm curious to see what Austin Cindric ownership comes in at because I feel like this could be like. I feel like this could
The way
almost.
to be different.
Yes, yes. I'm like sitting here looking at Austin Cindric and being like, I think I'm gonna get this guy into my single bullet. 6,900 starting 13th. Obviously, it's not sexy, but like we've seen Austin Cindric come out here and like completely throw off fuel strategy and whatever and lead a bunch of laps. And it doesn't look like his practice was terrible. So, and he was in Group B. So, I'm going to guess. Now, if I were to make a guess, Sterling, I'm going to guess that he made a pit stop somewhere around in here because then he went from being like an average-ish car, then he started or no, 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 this isn't in order, is it?
No.
Okay, that's my fault. That's my fault. But anyhow, I don't think Cindric's a bad play and definitely a way to get different.
It's like, hate to say it, but I do agree. Track history says you absolutely fade him, but you gotta look. He's been better this year than he's ever been.
Yes, yes,
Not
yes, he
great,
has.
but significantly better. And
Yes,
then Penske, Ford, they've been really good here. Logano has been great here. He he's a guy that we always thought would stick out on road courses because that's where he came from. That's where he made his name in the Xfinity Series. And obviously, those guys translate that braking over to tracks like Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that points to playing him other than a gut feel that I think he stays
Yeah.
top 15, pushes out of top 10. Like,
Yep.
it feels extremely ugly, but it feels that way to everybody. And I think that's a good way to be different.
Yep. Yep. I'm glad we're on the same page there. I'm kind of curious. I know we looked pre-show. There's no odds out yet, but I'm kind of curious of what his odds would be for a top 10. And if it's like plus 200, I'm definitely going to throw some money on it. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. But next up, we got Corey Heim starting 32nd. Obviously, won the truck race tonight. 6,700. Looks like he had a fast practice, but I think if he can just keep a clean race, I think he can be all right. It does scare me starting 32nd. Obviously, he's probably gonna go a lap down in stage one. But what do you think of Corey Heim? Like, I think I'm gonna have some, but like I'm not gonna make it a priority.
Uh, I don't know. That's it's a tough one for me because starting 32nd, that scares the shit out of me. Not being
Yeah,
in this car a whole lot. I He obviously looked pretty decent in practice there. Group A though.
yeah,
I think I have to fade him, but
yeah.
you're gonna have to find somebody down here. And I'm
Oh yeah,
honestly not
yeah.
100% sure on who I'm gonna go with just yet.
Yeah, I'm not either. Daniel Suarez starting 21st, 6,600. I've got no. I think this crew and everybody's looking forward to next year.
Adios,
Honestly,
amigo.
yeah, adios. I mean, it's just sorry, Daniel. It's been a good run, but I think they're just in cruise control at this point.
He's gonna come out in a JRM car next year,
I
Xfinity, and
I
probably
hope
tear it up.
not.
Honestly,
I hope not.
I don't disagree with that, but I think it's
I
almost
think
already set in stone.
I think you're 100% right. I wish in an ideal world, and this is me completely getting off track, and I know you're going to agree with this. I wish JRM could steal Corey Heim away from Toyota and
That'd be badass.
put Corey Heim in the '88 car and just watch the world burn. Yeah,
That'd be pretty sweet.
that would be my ideal, but I know we're gonna get Daniel Suarez in that fucking car, and it's just like why,
Yeah,
why? It's I don't know, it's stupid. It's just like another Justin Allgaier. Like I don't know. I'd just rather see these young kids. Like yeah, you do need your veterans that just come in and do that, but like I'd rather see young kids trying to I don't know make a name for themselves. I guess.
yeah. Corey Heim specifically has
Yes.
done more than enough to get the fuck out of the truck series. Like,
Yes. Yes. He needs to tell Toyota to go fuck themselves and he needs to go somewhere else. So, but next up, Eric Jones, starting 18th, 6,400. Eric Jones has been on a nice run lately, but that practice is not pretty. He was in Group B, I will say. But I think Eric Jones could be this guy that I don't want to say I might have one lineup, maybe build 1, 2 lineups with him, but like when you think of tire wear, Eric Jones runs good at Darlington. If this goes to hell in a handbasket, I would not be surprised if Eric Jones is like top 10.
I think he's a similar-ish play to Cindric.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yep.
not big on him, not against him though, because I keep repeating it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
continue to keep repeating it. I I think you want to kind of stack the top 20-ish, maybe 25. I don't really care for these deep PD guys like this next guy. Like if I have to pick
Yeah,
between Jones and John Hunter, I
yeah,
think I'm gonna pick Eric Jones.
yeah. And I definitely agree with you, Sterling. I think I'm gonna have like one lineup to where like I play all top 20, and like I'll probably have one lineup where like everybody's top 25. Like I'm definitely with you. Like I don't hate that. And like John Hunter Nemechek starting 34th. Obviously the PD's there, but I think he's a great fade because I think everybody's going to see that 34th place starting spot and be like, "Oh my god, he got all this PD," but
And
they're not
he's
going
gonna
to get.
look like he was the second fastest Kyle Busch.
Yep, yep. So I agree 100% with you. I think John Hunter is a great fade. Um and I think if, there's other pivots. I don't want to say Eric Jones is a pivot, but I definitely do not like John Hunter Nemechek right there. For the ownership reason and for the not being able to pass. Michael McDowell starting 10, 6,100. I don't think this is a Austin Cindric play. I don't like Michael McDowell at all, really starting 10. Sterling, are you going to talk me into him? Because I have no interest.
No, I mean, the price is the only plus side to this. It's I can't can't do it really. It's
I can't either. I can't play AJ Allmendinger starting third, 6,000. I don't even think I could do it as a way to get different.
no, like if you play Allmendinger, you're playing him specifically because you think he sends it into turn one and punts Ryan Priest.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
if you're playing for that, don't play.
yeah. So I'm out on Allmendinger. I will have none. I will have none McDowell. Zane Smith, I starting 29th. I don't think I'm going to have any Zane Smith. I really honestly, Sterling, don't really know who the play is down here. But yeah, but Zane Smith, I don't think is going to be it.
No, that's honestly, I think I prefer the guy below him, and that's not really any better.
I was honestly just going to say that Noah Gregson has been, no offense to Noah Gregson, has just been absolutely dog shit. But the fact that he starts 22nd, if he can hold a top 25, I definitely like that over Zane Smith.
Gregson finished 20th, 12th the last two races last year, then irrelevant their previous three races. Zane Smith finished 23rd and 35th last year, and those are
Okay.
the only two races he's ran here in the next gen.
SVG starting 27th. Um, we have seen him get better on ovals. I don't think if he was starting in the 30s, I don't know. I don't want to say I'd be more interested if he was starting in the 30s. I'm kind of like
I can't
uh,
do it. I
I
just
just
keep thinking
yeah.
back to Iowa. How many times did he spend?
Oh
Three,
yeah, that was
four?
terrible. Todd Gillen, I think it's the same play as John Hunter Nemechek, other than Todd Gillen also had a fast practice, but I don't know, Sterling. This whole range down here is just murky water, other than like Ty Dillon. I don't think I'd be afraid to play Ty Dillon.
No, it's so fucking gross with him starting 16th.
Yeah.
But that's honestly where I think I'm leaning.
I think if I'm being honest, Sterling, I think let's just lump this together. I think I'm looking at Ty Dillon and probably Justin Haley.
Yeah, I would not rule out Todd Gilliland just because he has actually finished solid here. Like you could see him 20th, like
No, he was with that crew chief last year that rolled the
that's the
dice.
thing. Which
Yeah,
is
and
now I want to say
Zane Smith.
I believe so.
Yeah, so maybe I am more intrigued on Zane Smith. Um, But yeah, I remember his crew chief was always good at rolling the dice. So I want to say that that's probably why Gilliland had the good finishes. So maybe Zane Smith is in play.
Honestly, though, it's hard to do, but I want to just try and stay out of this range.
Yeah, I
And if you
I agree with
have
you.
to, I'm not at all against just going the whole way down to Cody Ware.
No, okay,
Starts
okay.
dead last. He can't hurt you. Like,
No, no, and
and
he's
by
gonna.
hurting you, I mean
He's
he can't score
he's.
negative. But
I was surprised when he wrecked. What was it last week before he wrecked? He normally doesn't. Like I will give him that. Like he normally just rides around and you know, like basically just collects positions that other people wreck. So
yeah, and you got Stenhouse. Definitely not playing him. He's been terrible here.
no,
But you
not
got,
playing.
I was just going to say,
Although Jesse Love looked like he had a decent practice, but I don't think you could play him.
no, I think there's enough guys in front of Cody Ware that are probably not going to finish the race.
Yep.
And I think as long as he can just keep it together, he's going to gain a few positions. Nothing crazy. But it's just there's nothing good down here. Like Ty Dillon, let's see what he's done here. He
That's
obviously didn't look
actually
terrible in practice.
no, he didn't. That's actually not a bad point, Sterling. That's not bad to just like you said, just go the whole way down to Cody Ware and but like Ty Dillon, I think if he just rides around and finishes 20th, which is basically what he's done all year.
Yeah, he does have a 17th here. I was in 2022, though. It's just this whole range is ugly, and I don't.
It is. It is. So, basically, as an overview, Sterling, this is just a recap, driver by driver. Basically, our favorite plays is probably how we're building our quote unquote core four, I guess, would probably be Priest, Denny Hamlin. Uh, who else are we throwing in there? Sterling, Ryan Priest, Denny Hamlin. Those are definitely the two I'm starting with. Are we throwing Blaney in there as a core?
What would it leave us if we went Hamlin, Blaney, Barry, Priest?
Okay, Hamlin, Barry, Blaney, and Priest. Hang on, let me just click Barry. That would leave us 6,600 per driver.
Not against that.
No, because you could go down to oh shit. So like below the only bad thing, I mean below
Let's just
66.
roll a three player core.
Okay.
Hamlin, Barry, Priest.
Yeah. So Hamlin, Barry, Priest. That leaves us 78 per driver after that.
Yeah, I feel better with that. I hate
Yeah.
it for the simple fact that I feel like we have to go down low, and
Yeah.
I don't want to, but just the quick couple builds, I think you're gonna have to.
Yep. I couldn't agree more, Sterling. So we will like I said, guys, definitely get in that Discord. I will post the link there here in a couple minutes. Other than that, good luck. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, we've been at 33 for the past like month. We haven't went up one. The more we see love, I guess, the more we'll be motivated to do, a preview show, maybe a recap show, So definitely appreciate all the love we've got, but definitely more is better. But other than that, guys, definitely good luck on tomorrow's race. Hopefully, it plays better than what it did last week for us. And other than that, we will see you at Daytona.
Yeah, that is another Saturday night race. So look for this show to be out again late Friday evening.